Hello, 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 everybody. It's your girl, Kamisha Tyler, aka Sarathea I Am. And on this feed, I just want to make it aware, make you all aware that it's painfully obvious that there are those who operate as though they lack the comprehending of what the scriptures that speaks about letting your neighbor dwell safely next to you means. I know some of us want to believe that it's only on a physical aspect, but the deeper meaning is that of what you think in your mind toward your neighbor. When we live in a so-called melting pot, and we live in a place of having jealous and Satan amongst us, freely able to live and occupy the space that they wish, because the actual meaning of what courting is not being abided by. Where when someone's leprosy has taken a hold of them, they aren't supposed to be in the close proximity of the people. Because to dwell safely, or let your neighbor dwell safely, are results of what one may think in the mind as well. So, when we see the alphabet, which just means the route of curse that they use or utilize to think negative thoughts on their neighbor, or in white supremacy, what they think on black folks or for black folks, all the way and even up to your children. So it's painfully obvious to watch on the broadcast the thoughts or the negativity done witchcraftly or in sorcery upon family members. Let's just use the example of myself along with my children, where they'll wish for contention and discord in the household between a mother and her children. And find a sense of pride to watch it unfold and come to play. This is what's known as operating the alphabet. Amongst Satan, the works of Janus and Jambres, they utilize the Aleph bet. If things are supposed to be righteous, if the scales are supposed to be just, in alignment to what God says, then they tell you they're going to give you a left bet, meaning unbalanced scales. So if you are having a lot of contention in the household, although they've already removed the male, and you find that these things are going on between the women and children, or just your children, the siblings, is because these witches and sorcerers, workers of sorcery, are emanating in their incantations for negative results. Just seeing yourself, seeing you, and seeing who are all in your space or in your bubble. There's a feed on here where you'll see, them complaining about they haven't been able to see everyone in my household. It's not because they have any concern, because they have the opportunity to show concern, but because they want to be able to utilize their bodily and biological potencies. So what do I mean by that? I mean, how it can work is in sexual acts. So what one holds in their mind, when you're a jealous being and you're more focused upon your neighbor or the woman you saw that you feel is prettier than you, in those moments that are sacred to your loved one, they're giving that instead to harmful wishes upon their neighbor or someone who has crossed their path. So it's in those moments and also in the moments that we spoke on about a woman in her time of bleeding. And so has to be very exhausting upon a male, upon our men, and if they're not utilizing it to pull our ANF Afro-Negro American men, folk men, then they're using it to tire him. This is why we're to be a unit. That way we can operate as a force together, just as they are operating for our downfall together. It is not good that man should be alone. We have to find the will to see ourselves back as a family unit and learn how to keep those things intact. Understanding the wiles of the enemy. She can't focus on her household because she's too busy being jealous of another woman's. And therefore, when he's given herself, they can't find fulfillment in intimacy because of the operating of the powers of witchcraft and sorcery. So on that note, we're told biblically by God Almighty, Most High God, to let your neighbor dwell safely in your midst or amongst you. And it's not speaking on just the physical aspect of you causing physical harm, but also the thoughts that you think toward them. Right? If it is that, if a man looks upon a woman with lust in his heart, that he has just committed lust with her, and the same applies for what is thought of the mind. When you see your neighbor and you look upon them with jealous thought and hatred and ill will, so therefore on that note, I have to recognize and bring it to your awareness that either people are ignorant to this fact, or they are not ignorant and they're comprehending it is the exact thing that causes them to operate it. So black folks ain't Afro-Negro American folks. We got to come together. We got to come back together as a household to fight against these wiles of the enemy. And on that note, I'll talk to y'all soon.